running through a 30-minute meditation practice today, but we'll be having some mindful movement in there as well. So it'll be really approachable for everybody. I am sitting on a yoga bolster. As you can see, you can quite easily sit on cushions, or you can sit on a chair if you prefer. And if that gets uncomfortable, you can also lie down for some of the guided meditation. The thing with lying down with meditation, it can sometimes make you feel a little sleepy. So one trick is, if you are lying down, to lie down and bring your hand up like that. And then if you do fall asleep, your hand just kind of falls and wakes you up. But if ideally you can sit upright, that's perfect. So I just invite you, first of all, to find a comfortable seat wherever you are. And let the sit bones settle down onto the bolster or the floor or the chair. And take a moment to just take a look around your room. So keeping your eyes open, first of all, and just noticing the colors in your room, noticing the light and the dark, and just becoming aware of your surroundings fully. And then I invite you to let the eyes close down. So feel like the upper lid is closing down to the lower lid. And as that happens, just allow that to start to draw your senses inwards. Meditation, there can often be a misconception that we're trying to get rid of any negative emotions or feelings and move to this place of nirvana, which obviously is lovely to feel a place of joy, but it's also becoming aware of all of our feelings, just noticing everything as it arises. Thoughts are going to come and go, that is inevitable, but it's like a puppy. We just start to train our mind like a puppy, just keep bringing it back without any anger, without any frustration with ourselves if we find it tricky, with no expectations of where we want to be. So as you start to settle into this place, I just invite you to take a weather reading of your body. So just notice how you're feeling today. Notice anywhere that the body feels maybe a little tight, maybe your usual spots, a shoulder, a hip, your neck, or your jaw. Maybe there's somewhere that feels particularly sore today that you're not used to. Just notice that. And just notice if your shoulders are slumping forwards at all. You might even like to exaggerate that slump forward, just letting your shoulders really round, and notice how that starts to restrict your breathing. And then start to roll your shoulders up and back and allow the collarbones to open and broaden here. And just notice the head resting on the top of the spine. Just notice if that feels even. And I invite you to scan through the body. I'm going to take you through each body part fairly quickly. And as you bring your awareness to each body part, just consciously allow that part of your body to soften a little. Start with the crown of the head, your forehead, your temples, and the back of your skull. Over the face, the forehead, the eyes, the jaw, your nose and lips, your tongue, and the front of your throat, the back of your neck, across the front of your chest, to your right shoulder, all the way down the right upper arm, to the lower right arm, your wrist, your hand, front and back, and all of your fingers on that right hand. Letting that whole right arm be held in awareness as you come up to your heart center. Across to your left shoulder, upper left arm, your elbow, your forearm to your wrist, the front and the back of your hand, and all of your fingers. That whole left arm held in awareness, softening as you move back up to the heart center, down the front of your torso and your belly, to the upper back, traveling down the spine, the upper spine, the mid spine, the lower spine, to your hips and buttocks. And the right hip, the upper right leg, your right knee, and shin and ankle, and that whole right foot and the toes. The whole right leg to your left hip. All the way down that upper left leg to your knee, your shin and calf and ankle. The whole of your left foot and all of your toes. That whole left leg held in awareness. And I invite you to just become aware of the outline of your skin, just feeling your body just in space, noticing the air around you, noticing the clothes touching your skin. And then I invite you to become aware of the sounds around you, starting with the obvious sounds. Letting your awareness travel to the sounds outside of your room, maybe any birds or wind or anything outside the window. Any sounds inside the room. And any sounds to the right of you. And sounds to the left of you. Sounds behind you. And in front of you. Even sounds above you. And sounds below you. And then notice if you can hear any sounds inside you. Maybe sounds of the breath. Even sounds of your heartbeat. Any other sounds at all. And then become aware of anything that you can see, even with the eyes closed. Notice any colors that you can see through the eyelids, any light or dark, any shadows, maybe even any images. And then become aware of anything that you can smell, any scents in the room, on your clothes, on your skin. Just becoming fully aware of that. Noticing any flavors in your mouth, any taste. Maybe anything lingering from earlier in the day. And then notice any moisture or dryness in your mouth. Start to notice any warm or cool on your skin. Notice the touch of any clothes on your skin, the weight of the clothes, the texture of the fabric. And if your palms are turned down, I just invite you to turn them up now. So this action of receptivity, of open and receiving. And just become fully aware of the palms of your hands, of the creases in your hands, of the weight of your hands resting wherever they're resting. And it's bringing your full attention to your thumb of the right hand. Just notice if it's easy for you to bring your attention there, or if your attention drifts, or if your mind's elsewhere, and that's fine. Just notice what you're noticing. You might find it easy to become aware of that right thumb, and you might even notice the outline of it, and maybe if you can feel any warmth or cool in that thumb, any tingling or heaviness or lightness. And then bringing your full awareness to your left thumb, and just notice how easy it is for you to bring your awareness to the left thumb. Noticing the outline, the weight, any warmth or cool. And then with each thumb, touch the next finger along your index finger. Just feel the texture of the thumb and the index finger just touching together, fully immersed in that awareness of the fingers touching. And then moving the thumb of each hand along and just touching your middle finger. Notice how that feels. And then to the ring finger. You might find it's easy. You might find your fingers are a little tight. Just notice that. And become aware of the texture of skin against skin here. And then to the little finger. And once again, starting with the first finger, and the second finger, and the third finger, and the fourth finger. I give you a little mantra, a couple of words just to say, to really help you focus your attention on that through a few rounds. As you touch your ring finger, or your index finger, your first finger, say sa. The middle finger, ta. Fourth finger, ma, na. So sa, ta, ma, na. And just say that quietly to yourself. Say it out loud if you like. Sa, ta, ma, na. Just helps to focus your attention on a sound. If you prefer not to, that's fine. A few rounds. Sa, ta, ma, na. Move as slowly or as quickly as you like, maybe making the sounds last a little longer. Final round. And then when you're ready, and just in your own time, bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. Just take a moment when you're ready to start to deepen your breath. And notice as you deepen your breath, how your hands start to draw away from each other. The hand on the heart lifts up. The belly moves down. And as you breathe out, the belly button pulls back to your spine and the hands move closer together. And just a few rounds moving with the breath, a little deeper as you breathe in. See if you can match the length of the inhale with the length of the exhale as you breathe steadily. And the mind can really be held by the breath. The breath is very powerful. It can become an anchor for us to come into the present moment at any time. The one thing that's always constant, the in-breath and the out-breath, no matter where our thoughts go, we can anchor that to breathing in and breathing out. And just bringing that hand from your belly and placing it on top of the hand on your heart. So you might even find that you can feel the beating of your own heart underneath your hands. And as you breathe in, just saying quietly to yourself, thank you. Notice how that feels. Exhaling out any air, any tiredness in the body. And when you next breathe in, once again saying thank you. Start with some small movements. As you're ready on your next inhalation, starting to take your hands out to the side. Doesn't matter how far they go, just to wherever feels good on to the end of the in-breath. And as you exhale, letting the hands come back to the heart. You can start to feel that they're almost being pulled back there. Just notice that. Inhaling the arms open, you might find they open a little longer, that your breath can expand a little more as the arms move out. And exhaling, bringing the hands back to the heart, just at your own pace with the exhalation. Inhaling. Find you go wider still, whatever feels good for you. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more time like this. The next time you inhale, start to lower the hands down like you're taking a V out to the side with the fingers. And as you exhale, bringing the hands back to the heart center. As you inhale, taking the arms out wide, stretching finger to finger. Exhaling, drawing back, hands to heart. Inhaling, reaching up in a V. Exhaling. Inhaling, right to the sky. Exhaling. And take another round. Just see how much you can move without too much thought on where your hands are going. Just moving with the breath. Inhaling, reaching. Exhaling, drawing in. Inhaling out to the side. Exhaling. Inhaling up in a V. Exhaling. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling. One more round like this, either following me or moving at your own pace, just making sure you move somewhere that feels good for you. Almost like you're moving through water. Letting the hands rest at the heart center when you're ready. Noticing your breath. And I invite you to just bring your hands back down to a place that feels good for you, maybe with the palms turned up. And allowing yourself once again to settle. The sit bones grounded, the crown of the head lifting, the collarbones broad. Being aware of the rise and the fall of the in-breath and the out-breath. It's your own natural rhythm. Notice where your thoughts are taking you. Notice where it's easy for you to maybe focus your attention on the breath. You might find you can easily focus on the breath moving in through the nostril, or maybe the swirling of the breath in your throat, or maybe the breath moving into the lungs, or the expansion of the lungs and the belly. Just notice that. Rest your focus wherever feels most present for you. Catch your thoughts, bring them back to the breath. The next time you breathe in, just drawing the breath in and saying quietly to yourself, 1. And as you breathe out, saying 1. And breathing in and saying 2. And breathing out and saying 2. And breathing in and saying 3. And 3 as you breathe out. And just continue like this up to 10. If you lose count, just come back to the last count you can remember and start again from there. If you do get to 10, just coming back down from 10 to 1. And wherever you are, just making this your final count, please. And then just allow your mind to be wild and free and think whatever it wants to think. Just letting it just move to any thoughts that you like. And bringing your hands together, palm to palm, giving them a rub, generating a bit of warmth between the palms. Once they feel really warm, just placing the palms over the eyes, letting the fingers just curl around the skull so you can feel like you're resting the head in the hands and feeling the weight of the skull supported by the hands. Noticing your breath here. Just letting the warmth of your hands move through the eyelids. When you're ready, slowly peeling your hands away and opening up the eyes and coming back into the room. So I hope that you enjoyed week 1 of meditation. We will have week 2 next Friday, so I hope you can join me live. Otherwise, it will be recorded again, and the recording will be available for 6 weeks. So thank you very much for joining me.